But we believe we are in charge of the legislature and that it will be so declared. Because at least in the National Assembly, we have a majority of members. In the Senate, the other coalition had a majority by one. But in the absence of Senator Wetangula, who is vying now in the National Assembly, I believe the numbers are equal. Yes, this is our first session at the swearing-in ceremony for the members of the 13th Parliament, and it's on course both for the National Assembly and the Senate. I believe that by about 2 p.m. or thereabouts, we should have been done with the swearing-in at least of the National Assembly members. And thereafter, we are likely, as is expected, to proceed to the session of election of Speaker and Deputy Speaker in both houses. We in AZIMIO have our candidate in the National Assembly, the Honorable Kenneth Merende, and our candidate, there are 2 candidates for Deputy Speaker, but as a coalition we agreed to back the Honorable Farah Malim as Deputy Speaker. I had been a candidate for the same, but when we met as a coalition and given other considerations in the interest of the coalition, I withdrew my candidature and I fully back the Honorable Farah Malim and the Honorable Kenneth Merende. Yes.
To your people?
Well, to my people of Rarieda, I am really grateful for giving me a second chance to serve them. I tried my level best to serve them in the 12th Parliament as best I could. I intend to continue the same. There are various projects that I started which I completed. There are some which are incomplete and I will continue them. But all the other efforts that I made at the time, whether it's building for widows, whether it's payment of bursary for orphans and all those, I will continue with. There are a few more new ones that we will continue with. Lastly, as a member of the ODM party and as a member of the AZIMIO coalition, we had hoped that our candidate of choice, the Right Honorable Rarieda Amollo Odinga, would clinch the presidency. We believe that he clinched it. It was not so declared. We went to the Supreme Court and we had hoped it would be overturned. The Supreme Court had its own views. But now, being in a democratic situation that is guided by law, we must accept that decision and we must move on. But what that means, therefore, is that as a coalition, we are not in charge of the executive. But we believe we are in charge of the legislature and that it will be so declared. Because, at least in the National Assembly, we have a majority of members. In the Senate, the other coalition had a majority by one. But in the absence of Senator Wetangula, who is vying now in the National Assembly, I believe the numbers are equal. And for that reason, we believe that we should be declared as the majority party in the National Assembly and that therefore we will control Parliament and hold the executive to account as is expected of us.
Thank you so much for your time.
Asante.